solid.
It's there. It's there. I'll give it to you.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. Feeling great.
Another main card fight for you.
Another main card fight. I expect nothing less. Honestly, you know, you throw a flying knee, they gotta put you on there just in case you pull something else off.
This is your second one, right? Second main card fight?
Third.
Third.
Yep.
Have
I'm 3 for 5.
all your fights been in Bellator? All your pro fights?
Yep, all my pro fights have been Bellator. Yeah.
Do you like that approach more than going through like the local circuits, or, like rather just jump right into
Money
it?
talk, baby. Absolutely. I'm not trying to fight for chump change, you know. So yeah, I like that.
Like you said earlier, that flying knee talk too. So I mean, you're gonna have that following you for a while until you do something that tops it, right?
Absolutely. Maybe this fight I'll be able to throw some spin in something. I gotta top RD the GOAT. That's what I gotta top.
Are you getting used to this, being in front of the lights and doing media and being on the main card as Jose mentioned? Are you getting used to it?
I've been used to it. You know, it's same thing with wrestling. You know, you just kind of take it in stride and you go. And when it's time, I like to say that I shine best under the lights. The brighter the lights, the better I am. So.
Was it a lot to get used to, or as you said, did you adjust fairly well?
You know, when you think about it, I started off at the Black Zillions. So I started off, you know, training with cameras in my face every single day, watching guys do media interviews and things of that nature. So it's coming second nature, you know. It's just a part of the game, you know.
Does that say something about training with a big, well-known camp right from the get-go?
Yeah, I think so. I think it prepared me for media. I think it prepared me for fighting and everything that comes along with it. The media circus, you know, the problems of a professional fighter, the ups and downs, you name it. I've seen it or been through it or experienced it through, you know, other guys. So yeah, I think that helped out a lot.
So you've obviously seen your teammates in the UFC go through the USADA, like knocking on their door and stuff. Do you wish that was happening to you and your opponents too?
I don't care. You know, I ain't cheating. Shit, you can take my piss right now. I think that there should be some type of regulation. You know, just because everybody isn't honest. You know what I mean? Everybody's not honest, and there's some guys, I ain't gonna call out no names, but they looking a little too thick for this division. So, hell, who knows? Maybe in that featherweight tournament, they'll bring out some testing and see how the cards fall down then.
Well, you brought it up. Are you looking to get in that tournament?
I better be in that tournament. It's $1 million. I need to be in that tournament. Say no more. I'm ready for it. You know, anybody that they can bring, anybody that's in this weight class. You know, I can strike. I can wrestle. I've got a nice BJJ background, and I've got some good submissions and chokes that, you know, no one's seen yet. Got some striking skills that no one's seen yet. So, you know, I'm way more than a wrestler. You know, there's no fake confidence here. It's all real.
Is the money more important than the belt at the end of that tournament?
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, a belt's cool, you know, but money talks. That's what makes the world go around. You know, I ain't fighting for a belt. If I get the belt, great, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm fighting, you know, to take care of myself, take care of my family, invest in some of the apps that I'm building, you know, different things of that nature. Belt's a belt, you know. It's a piece of hardware. Shit's gonna sit on the shelf, you know. Money. You can do a lot with some money, baby.
Do you feel like people, focus on belts almost too much? Because some are totally opposite. Some prioritize the belts more than money. Do you feel like people take it, you know, priority belts over money too much, or?
I think that there's two different ways that you can approach this game. The first way is let me play safe. You know, fight all the right people and then get to the belt. Or you can be like, you know, I'm on a fight, whoever they throw my way, as long as that check clears and the zeros are behind it. I'm about the zeros, man. So, you know, I'll fight anybody as long as the money's right. Like, you know.
How crucial is it for you to get a big finish and kind of have another statement performance on Saturday so that you can kind of make your case to Scott and all the powers that be that you need to be one of those 16 guys in the tournament?
I didn't even think about that until you just, came up with that question, to be honest.
Sorry.
It's all
No
good.
pressure, man.
Well, at the end of the day, I have to go out there and get a finish. I want to go out there and get a finish. I'm going to go out there and get a finish, and I'm going to dominate them. And, if they choose to put me in the tournament, great. If they don't choose to put me in the tournament, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only prospect that's kind of worked his way into Bellator off of a 8-0 amateur career, delivered with a flying knee and got paid next to nothing for it, made ESPN. I've come out, I've stopped everybody except for Lencioni, and I dominated that fight, and I've continued to grow. I've continued to get better. So, I think that alone is a reason to put me in the tournament. And then, if not for that reason, I'm the only fighter that's fighting on this level that's a software developer. So I can bring in the entire tech community over, to watch them fight. So it's like, I'm not telling anybody how to market me, but I'm just saying, you throw flying knees, you build apps. It might be a person to put into a featherweight tournament to promote the sport and promote the organization.
So is building apps the job and MMA the hobby, or the other way around?
I think they're both hobbies.
So then what's the job? Or is there?
I think that, my only job is to continue to grow. That's the only thing that I see as a job, whether it's as a software developer or whether it is as a fighter. Growth is the most important thing for me. But, I don't see either of the two as a job, really. One I get paid for, the other I'm starting to get paid for. So it's just like, kind of is what it is.
Not every fighter out there builds apps. Are you one of the smartest fighters there is?
Yeah. I like to think so. I think that I approach the game a little differently. While other guys are in between training sessions, playing video games or watching Game of Thrones or something like that, I'm utilizing my time to prepare for a life, one, outside of fighting, after fighting, and two, to preserve my brain. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't use it, you start to vanish a little bit. Things start to vanish. And so I think that as far as what I choose to do with my time and the way that I approach the fight game in terms of tactics and overall training, I think I am one of the smartest fighters Bellator has ever had the privilege of employing.
What's the high score of your app at now? I gave up at like 16,000.
I think the last time I checked, it was 22,000.
What is the app?
So I'm in partnership with a new company called Koji. Think of a Wix drag and drop template site, but for apps. They're in beta right now. Just raised $6 million, and so we're working on the Air Claxton app, an exclusive app, and then I'm also building templates for their sites for other individuals to use. And with these templates, you don't have to know how to code. I do all the underlying coding, and pretty much you can just drag and drop. It's a drag and drop template thing, so you don't have to know how to code at all.
Good.
And you'll be able to make an app or two. So that's my new one of my new sponsors, one of my new partnerships, and we're moving over in the tech world, and we're moving up in the tech industry and in the fight game. So
So to me, coding is impossible.
why do you say that?
I've tried, and it always comes out wrong. I'll put something together, and I can't figure the mistake out. Someone will be like, oh, there's a random comma somewhere in there, and just throws everything off.
So look, you just got to be a little patient with it. I think patience is key, and then I think that also, you got to kind of be somewhat of a perfectionist, but at the same time, you have to be open-minded. There's 18 different ways to build one thing.
Sure.
So with 18 different ways of being able to build one thing, if you choose to go one path, you got to have that path correct. But that doesn't mean that there's the only path. And if you just look at it that way and approach it from that viewpoint, I think coding would be for you. Coding's for everybody. You just got to find the right language.
I like drag and drop.
Drag and drop. You like drag and drop? I think a lot of people are gonna like drag and drop.
You've talked a lot about your life outside of fighting. On a YouTube Q&A back in February, you mentioned you were looking to retire around 32 or 33. Is that still in the cards?
Absolutely, shit. You know, I'm 26 right now. You know, let's be realistic. I'm 26, right? 3-4 years I have the belt. You know, 2 years after that, I'm so deep into the tech game that, you know, what's the point of fighting? You know, I'll do it if I still love it. Then I'll do it. You know, once a year.
What's
you
your
know.
championship belt equivalent in the tech world? I'm genuinely curious.
I'd probably say, for me right now, it would be a championship belt would probably be being the best at core data. Try to learn core data. That shit sucks. That shit's hard.
How do you learn all this tech stuff?
Well, there's
Did you go to school or?
well, my degree, I have a bachelor's of specialized studies, healthcare with a concentration in marketing. So, no.
How did you pick this up?
There's so many sources online. Apple. I started off on a site called Team Treehouse, just learning Swift, which is iOS development platform. And then after that, I started doing C#, and I just thought that C#, it's easier to do C# if you're building apps for iPhone and Android, because you can use Xamarin platforms, and you can do cross platforms, and you only have to know one language. So then I just switched to C# to do that. But a lot of the documentation is online. You just have to read it, you know. And then lately, I've just found a coding mentor. He's been coding C# for 25 years, and so I have coffee and code with him once a month, and I go there with questions, and I leave with answers, and I leave with a shit ton of homework, and I'll go back next month and think that I'm here in the tech world, and then he's like, yeah, you're here, but do you know about this, and this? And I'm like, shit. So a lot of it's just online, man. You just got to be willing to read the documentation, sit down, write the notes, go back, read it again. Trial and error is real big. You know, I spend anywhere between 40 through, depending on, like, if I'm not in camp, then it's 40, anywhere between like 60 to 80 hours a week just coding. And if I am in camp, then it's anywhere between like 20 and 30, you know, so it's just time. You just sit there and you just look at that shit and you just read it and you just learn it, you know.
Super fast, going off my smartest fighter question earlier, what do you make of the stereotype that every MMA fighter is a knucklehead? Because, like, that doesn't appear to be the case.
I mean, look, I think that every MMA fighter has a couple screws loose, or we wouldn't be doing this shit. I just think that MMA fighters, their mistakes are in the public eye. You know, a random guy, a regular guy, you know, that works at the post office, or, you know, he's an accountant in some low-level firm, you know, you get in a hit-and-run accident or something like that, there's no news article about it, you know, but when you're in the public eye, it's a little different. So for everybody that thinks MMA fighters are knuckleheads, I guess you haven't met the right MMA fighters, you know.
Last one, you brought up the wrestling background. Did you watch Askren versus Burroughs?
Hey, Burroughs whooped his ass. but you know, there's levels to everything.
Yeah.
There's levels to everything, man. And Askren knew what was going to happen to him. You know, he's not an idiot. He's a smart guy. Even though he's a smart guy, but he's also an ambassador for the sport of wrestling. He knew damn well he didn't have a chance against Jordan Burroughs. I knew it. Anybody that knows wrestling knew it. But the amount of MMA fans that he brought over to just pure wrestling, the wrestling community, you know, it's great marketing. You know, it's great marketing. It was a great marketing scheme. You know, you get the guy that talks a lot, and you say, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to beat the brakes off of the best wrestler. how many people are going to go watch it? Everybody that wanted to watch him get his ass whooped went and watched it, and everybody that thought that he was going to win went and watched it. And guess who won at the end? The sport of wrestling won in the end. So you know, it was a great I think it was a great match and a great event. And Askren did a lot for the sport of wrestling doing that.
What do you
So.
think about Burroughs saying he wants one MMA fight?
If he want it, I mean, that's the money fight. If he want flying knee versus double leg, set it up, Scott. We can make it happen. He won't be able to he won't be able to out wrestle me realistically inside of a cage. I don't think that double leg will work. But if he wanted it, you know, I'd take that fight.
What weight would that be at?
Whatever weight he want. It's at the zeros. The number's behind the check. That's the only weight that matters. So let me know.
Yes. All right.
Solid.